All right, guys, welcome to another edition of Extra Time. My name is Razak Musbao, and as usual, I'm here with the bad boys, bad boy Lawrence.
Back again.
Bad boy Lawrence Beidou. And I'm
Charlie,
here
you
also
rhyme,
with
oh.
bad boy Penty Jijo. Bad boy Penty Jijo.
Oh boy.
Charlie,
Yeah.
how you dey feel about
What?
Ororo than the Messi conversation, Charlie?
How do you feel about him?
I mean, you be Ororo boy.
What do you mean by how do you feel about him?
See, I enter the car inside as they come as see Zach in Jesse. I say, yay! Where do you?
I'm wearing this jersey
Where do you?
to symbolize the future of Ghana football. The fact that, look, we need to get serious about the future of Ghana football. Like, we seriously need to get very, very, very concerned about it. And we need to set up. We need to stop licking ourselves and pretending that we have done much. It is time for us to be very honest about how we want the future of Ghana football to look like. We do admit that we are doing some things right, but the things we are doing wrong are much more than the things we are doing right. And we need to accept that one of our biggest products in terms of ranking, you can talk about the Black Stars and the second, the Ghana Premier League. But the Black Stars come once a while. And the Ghana Premier League is pretty much every weekend. And look, if we do not give the kind of seriousness we attach to the Black Stars to the Ghana Premier League, then we have to be honest. We are not then serious about Ghana football. We are not then serious about Ghana football. And the kind of seriousness that is required of us is not what we are currently doing. It's not what we are currently doing. So that's just to say that, yeah, that's why I'm wearing this.
Charlie, for a moment, I forget your mind. They do editorial.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing this.
I make emotional. I say,
no, that's why because the point is that, look,
that was from the heart.
But you see,
could
what
feel it.
happened? What happened just about a day or two, or was it yesterday? Thereabout, only gives us a sense of what we are capable of doing with the talent we've got in our system. If somebody, a player from not a Ghana Premier League side, not a Division 1 side, but a team that you probably call
a coast team,
a grassroots team, a player is able to come from there. There's no right to dream of. Adabraka Elders, listen to the name. Adabraka Elders. A player is able to come from there all the way to Sevilla.
in Spain.
It tells you the potential that Ghana football has got. And if we become very serious about it, it tells you what we are capable of doing, what we will do. We'll tell you what we'll do. Adabraka Elders. That is the case study. Adabraka Elders all the way. It's not the first time we are seeing something like this. It's probably not the first time we're seeing like this.
Yeah.
All right? But it's one that just happened. It was like, hey, really? I mean, when you saw the news, how did you feel about it? Did you see it coming? Did you see?
No. I think everybody was shocked.
Shocked.
But one thing is that nobody was overly surprised because of the fact that he's a young talent. We barely see the older generation get such big moves. But when it comes to young talent, they find their way to these top European clubs pretty much early. And that is a good thing for our football. And I've seen that happen a lot of times. Even most of our young talent goes on trials at Chelsea. They go on trial at these top European clubs. But the problem is we have the system to be able to grow more of them consistently, have the right guidance to be able to get through those stretches, because we have two young players, talented players at Barcelona team B at the moment. I know, but what have we seen of them? Are they playing our under 23? Are they playing our under 17? Are they in our under 20? This guy, there were rumors going around that he was initially part of the under 17 team that went to Morocco.
I think that's an overstatement, because look, he didn't even qualify for the tournament, the age category.
Oh, okay.
When the tournament started, he was
So that
already 17.
rumor should be debunked.
That thing,
okay.
Charlie, please.
But what I'm just trying to say is that there has to be a structure to what we are doing as a nation when it comes to our young talent. You see these players go outside and we don't see them again. So let's work on that.
But
Let's
Lawrence,
build.
what that reaffirms, because it doesn't just all of a sudden inform us that we've got talent too. No, it just reminds us that we've got talent.
Yeah, that's
But
what.
those of us who have been watching those local football, the real local football,
Yeah.
the coast football, we see the talent.
No,
We see it.
look, and this kudos to DBJ, the guy, the Ghanaian guy who is in charge of the guy, like
The agency.
managing him and all of it.
Brockwise.
I went to the same school with him. He's someone who is really bent on whatever he wants to do. So I'm not surprised that he's gotten to this level. But then again, out of the same window, I was speaking to a friend who is also a scout with the national team, junior national team. And he just made mention the fact that another guy from Sunyani also signs for, he plays it for a club in Sunyani. He also signs for Porto in the same window. Then again, you are not surprised. Why? Because these are teams who bring in people every now and then, go out of their way to make sure that the right things are done. You are looking at club administrators. You are looking at people who run our clubs, people who run these codes clubs, these Premier League clubs. What intentional thing are they doing to ensure that they get some of these opportunities? Because look, people will go out of their way, bring down scouts to ensure that they come and watch these players. You have tournaments, prominent tournaments being hosted in Ghana to look at the quality of players available. Just recently, we saw the Rock Nation Cup that was played, and in a year or two, you could see some of you are likely to see some of these players travel outside Ghana or wherever they came from, because there are teams from Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Burkina Faso to have a taste of. And there were agents down here, agents from Manchester United, from Slavia Praha, top teams in Europe.
Yeah.
The talents are there. It's about how we pave the way, how we open those spaces. We give them the visibility, how we are able to integrate them into a system that is not a one-time thing. I always say that consistency is the key to getting results. You can try one thing, it will pick today. But if you stop and you are waiting the next 5 years to come and try it again, it might not work.
And you see, you cannot, and maybe the kind of consistency we see here is one man trying to force it.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a system that promotes that consistency,
It becomes a problem.
it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So for instance, take say an under 20 team or
Yeah.
maybe the under 17 team. And just look at the number of coaches we've had within that era. All right?
Yeah.
Every coach comes in, goes to do scouting, finds a certain crop of players, use them for qualifiers. They fail to qualify, and all of those talents just go out. Nobody remembers them. The next coach comes in and says, well, he's going to do another scouting, goes to scout, finds a certain crop of players, and all of them, after whatever assignment they were used for, they vanish.
But
And it
I
happens
didn't
time
have a
and
problem
time
with
and time
that.
again. And why that persists is because there is no system, intentional system that sort of affords all these players an opportunity to have continuous training.
That's
And
the
not only being invited for, we have qualifiers, come, let's play qualifiers.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Oh, we have tournament, come, let's play for play tournament. You get it?
Yeah. Look, I happen to have come close to some of these teams or some of these players, and sometimes there are issues because he's playing at a club, a youth club. Let's say someone is playing at Porto B, right? And at Porto B, he sees his mates from Morocco, from Tunisia going down for under 23 break, under 17 break, under 20 break, and you're asking yourself, so when are we also utilizing these windows for junior teams to also go and play their football? We are waiting for tournament or qualifiers, then we can go to this player that you need to come down and play. It doesn't work that way. We need to make use of these windows because I feel they are there for a reason. If someone played in my under 17, in my under 15, I'm expecting that person gets the continuity. I should be conscious enough to ensure there's continuity for that person.
Especially if you have identified the person to be very talented, he's good enough to be in Ghana's under 17 team, then he shouldn't just be good enough for 3 qualifying matches.
No.
Or good enough for 1 under 17 tournament. And when it's done, well, go and sort yourself out. Find how, if he's good enough and you think this is a good talent, We should have a system that is able to keep such a talent because we know he will be good enough, not just for this under-17 tournament, but even for the future.
For future.
Unfortunately, we don't have that system. I don't know whether it is an issue of funding that makes it difficult for us to have such a system, or it is an issue of leadership that appears to be lacking in that regard. It might be a mix of the two or one of the other. I'm not too sure what it is, but clearly something needs to be done. Something needs to be, because that's a Broco guy we're talking about.
Yeah.
Thomas Partey journey to Atletico Madrid. He's shared the story a number of times. Had he not finally gotten the opportunity to settle at Atletico Madrid, nobody would have known that there's a Thomas Partey anyway.
Yeah.
Nobody would have known. Nobody would have known, and he would have gone under the radar and nobody would notice him. But I finally got the opportunity to settle at Atletico Madrid. And then, Charlie, we get some Ghanaian there. Charlie, he the ball. Yeah, but nobody.
I think back
Do
then.
you remember Thomas Partey ever playing on one of our junior team?
No, I think, in fact, it was one of the conversations that popped up. And Thomas Partey, I think it was the 2013 year group that was supposed to go for one of the youth tournaments. And he was dropped. Eventually found his way at Atletico the following year. So it tells you how intentional we are not about our talents. You might not identify it yourself. It is the reason why we need so many people around us to help identify these talents, work on them, know the areas that we need to develop, areas that we know these things are not going right, and so we need to fix them. It's as simple as that. And I can tell you, if you go to maybe a hood where football is very predominant, you are likely to see so many talents.
There's so many.
But
there's
how we are
incredible
integrating
amount of
them, how we are developing them, is an issue.
There's an incredible amount of talent, and the amount of talent that actually often end up in other places just because there was no proper system to develop their talent. It's surprising. Look, I know people in my area who I grew up watching them take football very serious, literally dedicated their entire life to football. And today I see them, and some of them are driving one man has bought a bus and they are now driving the buses. And when you sit down to have discussion with them, they tell you, Charlie, we never had the opportunity. The system did not allow us to realize our dream, but we have to feed. We have to feed. So we need to abandon this desire of playing football and begin to feed. So if I have to be driving a trotro to feed or jumping as a maid to feed at the expense of my football career, I would do it. Who cares? Because I need to feed at the end of the day. So they will jump onto motorbikes these days and be doing their Okada business because the system has not given them the opportunity to realize their footballing dream. And Abrakwa, if DJB had not supported him and had the opportunity, who knows, would have gone through a system like that, forgotten, and might end up somewhere. Such a wonderful talent.
And even with that, there are people who are even in the system now, right? Who are playing for these clubs, European clubs, in the under 17. Lawrence was talking about it, and their 20s and other stuff. That we've totally forgotten about them. You get it? I don't have a problem with the fact that this word, all the five fingers are not are not equal, and we cannot everybody cannot become a professional footballer. So I don't have I with that argument where people will say that we have so many talents and everybody has to go to Europe and stuff like that. But my problem is when the few ones that get to Europe, the very few ones that get the opportunity to play for the likes of Chelsea's academy, we see players, a lot of these young stars, Robert Tees, even Tofik is playing for Atletico Madrid. He's playing with the Spain national and a youth team now. You get it? We have a lot of these talents who are outside that we could even capitalize on, utilize them. And even some of these under 17 players that even just end up playing this under 17 AFCON. Some of them goes to you. And we forget about them. We've forgotten about them. And time again, we are the same people that complain about not having right backs at our national team level, not having the right midfielders at our national team level. We don't have enough pool of players to choose from. When I ask any of you that which two other midfielders should we take instead of Kwesi or Elisha Osu, where will you be looking to? These are the things, you get it? We should have a pool of players that we could say that, okay, these people have experience of under 17. These same people have been transitioned into the under 21s. These same people have been transitioned into the under 23 level Olympics team. When was the last time Ghana qualified for the Olympics? at the under 23 level because we don't have a consistent team.
Yeah.
And these players, we have them. It's not like we don't have them. We have them playing for these top European clubs. Some are even in this country. But let's not talk about that one because the country there's an issue where the transition even is difficult to even get to the top. But when the people make it to the top, you're forgetting about them.
Yeah.
You're forgetting about them because
And
there are lots of young, talented players playing for Everton, Tottenham Hotspur, these youth teams. And I saw the GFA not making effort to get them, but they are organizing a clinic in general for foreign-based players in the UK. And I was like, what? What are you trying to do? Trying to groom a new set of players that will just be there wasted and will not even call them at the end of the day?
And you see, one of the things also that we need to avert our mind to is that every time we talk about, the FA, and the FA has to do their part, the FA has to do their part. Yes, ultimate responsibility at the doors of the president of the FA. But there is something that for a very long time I've also mentioned. That look, Ghana football, Kete Kreku says he has a vision for Ghana football. He has spelled out the vision for Ghana football. And he will do what he can to provide the funding to realize that vision. So whether it is making sure that the pitches are green, so he's building boreholes, he's providing footballs, he's providing boots, he's providing everything he believes he can provide from where he is to facilitate the development of Ghana football. That's why Ghana Premier League teams are receiving boots, they are receiving balls, they are receiving cones, they are receiving, what do you call it? Bibs and all of that. So he's doing what he can in that regard. Fair enough, and credit to him for that. Nonetheless, the other part of the conversation which I believe, and we need to hit on it time and time again, is that, look, the owners of our football clubs, the future of Ghana football and the development of Ghana football, whether we believe it or not, Kete Kreku has a big role to play. The sports minister has a bigger role to play with his policy decisions. But the people who have probably the biggest role are the individuals who have decided to invest in Ghana football, created clubs, and have become hubs for attracting talent. Because that talent that you see at Sakumono or you see at Nima, eventually is going to go to a football club in his area that is owned by some big man. And I don't know what we can do to get them to begin to see the game in a certain way and to take it as serious as we want them to. Because, look, a very big thank you to them for all they've done over the years. But I think there's still a lot more to be done. There is so much more to be done by our football owners. And if Ghana football want to get to the next level, it can only do so if the owners of our football clubs decide that it is time for me to raise this game to the next level. And the very few people who have decided to do that, we are seeing the results of it.
Yeah.
Those who have decided to take it serious, we are seeing the results of it. And if we can have all of them, look at the number of clubs in the Ghana Premier League, the number of clubs in the Division 1, the number of clubs in the Division 2, in Division 3, we're in the studio of Soccer Bet. They relate, they know the number of clubs there. If all of them come to a certain understanding and a certain commitment that, look, we are willing to take this game serious, our youth football, everything, we are willing to take it serious, like we see in Europe, I'm telling you, it will be a new dawn for Ghana football. It will be a new dawn for Ghana football. Do you know the start of the Ghana Premier League this season? And the minister even said it. This is not something I'm making up. He said it even in Parliament. Every owner of a Ghana Premier League team, Ghana Premier League team, received at least $1 million cedis or dollars? 1 million Ghana cedis, taxpayers' money. We gave every owner. That's why Ho United, when they decided to boycott, the FA wrote to them that they should bring the money back. Every owner. These are private individuals. These are private individuals. We gave them, because the government says, I want this league to get better. I want Ghana football to get better. So what can I do for you? And this government supporting the football owners with you and I, our taxpayers' money, and he gave every one of them 1 million Ghana cedis to start the league, to make sure that, you use it to do what you can. Our taxpayers' money were given to every one of them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, seriously, have you seen anything? Did you see how the league ended? Did you see the number of people who turn out for House of Folk games? The number of people who turn out for when Vision FC and when Ediana and Co. when the police number of people turn out? Did you see anything different from the previous Ghana Premier League campaign we saw after the government gave the 1 million Ghana cedis? Nothing. So one of the people that we need to hold responsible, we need to begin to hold them at their throats are the owners of Ghana football. But you see, and that is because the government has given them our taxpayers' money. Because prior to that, they will say, my brother, you're not the one who paid the player's salary. Yeah. The fuel we used to go and up and down, we go to Tamale to play a game. And you can't tell me anything. But before the start of last season, government gave you and I, our money, 1 million Ghana cedis. And so now we have a right to ask them questions. And I'm sure next season they will get even 1 more million Ghana cedis, or even more. So now we have a stake. We have a stake, a real stake. And that's why the people at the lower level are saying that, look, Charlie, if they are also getting find something for us. And maybe that is where we need to get to. Because Penty, the man, the Adabraka elders owner, the one who owns it, he said, you can't tell me anything. I don't know what sachet of water they sort of out. I say, Nkolano pride, I want to this make sure even cash in. So I can do what I want to the TV. You can't tell me anything.
These days, what people say about our league is the fact that we have young players who are not really playing in our local league. That is because when they come to the local league, there's no helping hand. In fact, someone would want to come and watch a court league. He finished, just grabs the guy's hand, tell you, come to House of Folk or come to this club. We will pay you well, we'll give you this and that. Knowing very well that guy is at a court league club where the owner is doing everything possible to groom him very well. What they have also come to understand is that the opportunities for these young boys out there. In the end, you might go to the Premier League or you might play in the Ghana Premier League, play in the Division 1. You might not get some of these benefits. But when I give you the opportunity to be under an agency where you could easily transition into the European, I get my cut. Your career goes in a long way to help yourself as a player. Which one would you want? Yeah. Obviously, ship him to the European club. And that's the reason why you see these clubs at the lower tier of Ghana football making more of these profitable deals than the top clubs.
I mean,
they really understand
it. It explains why a player will be willing to leave a Ghana Premier League club and go and play the reserve side of another team in Europe. Penty, you get that?
Yeah, I get it.
You will leave the top flight league in Ghana to go and play the reserve side in Europe.
But you see, one problem too is that we have an issue where there is the economy of this country also plays a huge part. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, obviously.
It plays a big part. And that is why sometimes the development of sports, the majority of it comes, or the burden falls on the government. Because a lot of things, the boy that maybe you see to be talented, the family doesn't have enough to support him. You get it? They don't have the finances, they don't have the resources to be able to push him on that tangent. So when opportunity comes, he grabs the one that is closer and easier to be able to benefit him at the moment. And with that being said, infrastructure also plays a key role in this. The government has a lot to do. We have a lot of stakeholders in our football that has a huge role to play. If you want our football to change, it does. Because look at the pitch issue that we are seeing now, where the Babara Sports Stadium, look at what is happening to the state of the Babara Sports Stadium. The Babara Sports Stadium can host inter-school competitions. Right now that the stadium is in that deplorable state, the young kids that will be playing football, either the zonals or super zonals.
They are renovating it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that
grass.
We don't have enough facilities in this country that we could afford to even close the Babara for almost 6 months and say we are renovating it. What is the alternative?
Yeah, that's
you get
the
it.
one, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to build infrastructure, build a lot of it. Kumasi shouldn't have just Babara Sports Stadium.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Kumasi shouldn't have No, it's not just even Kumasi. The whole Ashanti region has just Baba as sports stadium.
Ali, in terms of a state facility, yes, but in terms of stadia, they have at least
No,
you can mention like 3.
But
There's a Linkley, there's the Nations
Linkley,
FC.
what's the state of the
Nations-
Linkley?
Linkley, they are using it.
But we have to.
Now, what's their names have? They call them what?
Ashanti Gold 04.
04, yeah.
Yeah, they're now in the
Linkley
Premier
is-
League.
yeah.
But what I mean is that there needs to be a lot of investment. They said they were building sports facilities at the 16 regions. We've not seen anything. The government needs to take
Which ones?
responsibility.
The youth resource centers.
Yes.
So that's even before that. So the youth resource centers are there. They were not completed. And in fact, the last time there was an engagement with, was it the National Youth Authority? They mentioned that, look, they want to complete, just that they don't have resources for it. So for now, they're not going to complete it. However, the sports ministry says, well, they are going to start their own project. They're going to build a new stadium in every region where there is no stadium. But as far as the youth resource center, they don't have money to finish them, but they're going to start new ones. And that also feeds into the problem we have in this country.
You say you don't have money, but you want. You see,
It fits into the problem.
This
because
is a basics.
Azuma Nelson Sports Complex at Kanisi, for instance, a great man has a name like that on his facility. We don't have money to complete it. All right,
This is where
we
the
have money to
problem
go and
stems
start
from.
new facilities at regions that don't have it. The regions that don't have stadium absolutely deserve to have stadium. However, why then do we ignore the facilities that have been started that could be put to good use? The entirety of Kanesi. Do you know what the Kanesi Sports Complex was doing for many people in that area?
the young talent. So when
In that area, now Kanesi Sports Complex has become a ground for. If you want to look for cheetah, you find some. If you are looking for alligator, you find some. Eh?
You see,
the last time I was just walking there, I heard lions.
like, you see lions there too.
Lions at Kanesi Sports Complex. The whole place.
It's to a zoo.
Was it about last year or so? I saw the MP for the area. He went to raise cutlasses and co. They said they were going to weed the area. When they got there, what they saw there, they couldn't weed it. They couldn't weed it. The place is bushy. And prior to when the project is a brilliant project. If you look at what they were doing there, and I don't know why it fell down like that, but regardless of what happened, it is a very primary facility that cannot afford to be abandoned to start a new one. You need to complete it. You absolutely need to complete it. And it's part of the solutions to fixing Ghana football. And let us come to this because, of course, the conversation is out there that while the sports ministry needs to do their part, while the FA need to do the part, while the club owners need to do the part, there's also the criticism that has also been meted out to media, sports media persons that they need to do their part. And I understand why people are raising those concerns. Because, look, the sports and as an industry is an industry. And every industry has got stakeholders. There are the FA who are also part of the stakeholders. They are the government who is part of the stakeholders. The club owners are part of the stakeholders. The players are part of the stakeholders. And also the individuals like us who report on it, who talk about it. We are part of the stakeholders. And even the fans are also part of the stakeholders. So that explains why people are out there also saying that, look, sportsmen and women, you also need to do better. That's why they are saying that. But then there've been some backlash also to that. The sportsmen and women are saying, we are doing our best. Nonetheless, there's only little we can do. How much can we do? We cannot go and bend the hand of the FA president and say, FA president, sign this document, make football better. This is as far as we can go. But they say, you, Penty, you are not doing enough.
There's a lot to be done. And I think the media personalities have just little. And they don't have enough resources to even do more. And it stems from the fact that a lot of these media houses do not have the resources to even support their journalists to do more. However,
but they say even the little you are doing, you are being soft on the challenges facing Ghana football. They say you are being soft. You are not.
It's like you don't push me cartons and things for you.
No.
I fear.
They fear me. And that's basically what they say. You know, they say you are being soft about it.
Easy. Some of these things, it's not the fault of the journalists, right? It's not the fault of the journalists. They'll say it, but what we are saying it right now, right? Before we even came to the part of the media people, we started talking about the issues. I made mention of facility. You made mention of the fact that there's no proper transition. We are talking about the issues, but they are listening. But are they taking action? That is where accountability
So
comes
they're talking there, you do the talking.
they're talking there, everybody go fit do some.
The firing there, you can do the firing.
I was walking on a stretch from, is it Spanner, right? And I was walking. There were two men who were selling shoes. They sat down and they were discussing Ghana football. You get it? They were talking about the issues at hand, and I was passing by. Those people are not even media men. You get what I'm trying to say? They're talking. Everybody's talking some.
Yeah.
But let me just let's address this directly.
Yeah.
When people say that media men are part of the problems of Ghana football, do you agree?
No. Because the media man can just expose the problems to the public, right? We can just expose it to the public, but we are not the people to solve the problem. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? We are not the people to bring the money, or we are not the people to sign the documents. We can just expose it to the public. Now, look at the video that came out about the Baba Sports Stadium, for example, right? There are lots of people talking about. It's the media that puts it out there. People didn't even know there was a renovation going on at the Baba Sports Stadium. The media put it out there, and we've seen the reaction from the public. But can you change the fact that is what is happening? You can't change it. We just report. We just tell you this is what is happening. This is the solution. But we cannot fix it.
The only power the media has is to inform.
Yes, we have to expose it.
Let you know this is what is happening.
This is what's happening. And the only way you are able to, the people that are criticizing the media right now, right? You that are criticizing the media, the only way you heard that the GFA assigned this, or this, where did you hear it from? It's not the media that told you about it. You get it? It's the media that was where did you get the information from that the FIFA has given GFA this amount of money to be able to do this project, and they are not doing it? It's the media.
But Lawrence, do you think
it is the media house that exposes the GFA that they've not been able to do A, they've not been able to do B, they've not been able to do C?
Lawrence is a seasoned media person within the sports space, especially when it comes to women football. He's highly respected in the space. Do you think some of these criticisms are legitimate? That look, when it comes to media men, you have to take the blame for the state of our sports at the moment.
I think everyone has a role to play. No two ways about it. As a media person, I have a role to play. But how far I can go is the issue. I can bring the issues out. I can talk about it. We can all highlight what is wrong with our football. Then again, it boils down to decision making. Because I'm not a decision maker. I'm not the one going to say, you have to implement A or B. I can only suggest. I can only educate. I can only inform. It is consistency. I keep saying it. The very moment that people begin to get frustrated at certain things, because you are always ringing the same bell. You are always saying the same things. You see the things that are wrong. You try to say it as it is. You try to let people know how best you can. I think even people at the FA will sit back and think that, oh, there are things we can do better. There are things we can maybe change and get a good image for ourselves, for everything that is very clear. As a media person, I know if I'm not reporting on this, then I'm doing a harm. I know if I'm not telling the story as it should be told, then I'm doing a harm. And that is where I feel many people are not paying attention to the critical questions. Are they doing their job? Yes. Are they reporting on issues that have to be reported? Yes. They cannot take decisions. We cannot take decisions. And those, to some extent, those who say this, it is one question I often want to ask. You mentioned about women's football. And you go out there and you ask people how often they've even watched the Black Queens play. And you're getting zero. How often have they gone to the Ghana Women's Premier League game to watch? You don't care until the national team is playing. And even the national team, until the Black Stars is playing. It's almost as if everyone wants things to be done off record. And then when there's time to enjoy in the glory, they want to come and be part of the glory. It doesn't work that way. We are part and parcel of it. If you pay attention, if you speak to issues, if you are conscious about developing our sports, you also play a role. If you contribute to it, if you are coming to the stadium and you are seeing certain things are not going the way it is, you should be able to highlight them. You should be able to suggest ways we can grow it. We don't need to wait for the Black Stars and then everyone wants magic to be to be done. It doesn't work that way.
And,
But
and, and I agree with Lawrence.
But you see the point.
We are in a
about-
country where it is only media men who go and watch football games, Ghana Premier League games, and come out and tell you the scores and results and everything.
But why?
Why-
But the bottom line is that,
Yeah.
the bottom line is that it's not that the people don't like football. It's not like they don't like the idea that Hassan and Accra Lions are playing. Because when Chelsea and Aston Villa is playing, they will pay money to go and watch it.
Yeah.
So the reason why they are not there is not because they don't want to be there. Because once upon a time, some of them were going, but they stopped going. Because they say that the football that they are seeing there is not nice enough.
Yeah, it's not the problem of the media person or the journalist. Then you get it. What I'm saying is that we are talking about the media.
But they are
and
saying that
the
when it
role of
comes
the
to that
media
niceness
here.
of the football, the main reason, the problem they have with you is that niceness of the football, which they has gotten them to be away from the stadium. They say you are not talking about that. The football is not nice.
Look, if I'm here and I see issues regarding how a club is run, and I pinpoint it, and the club owner is unwilling to do something about it, it is not my fault. I don't pay money to the club owner. I don't pay his players. For instance, if I'm a club owner and my club is playing football and I have 10 people at the stadium, I should be able to go down to the one or to the 10 people that are there and ask questions that, why do you think your friend is not coming? I should be wealthy enough, or I should be in a position where I could do a survey and find out what my shortcomings are. One, we are not intentional about football when it comes to our club owners. We don't want to highlight the issues that we are facing. And certain times, when the issues have even been brought to us, we've not taken the decisions that will help us change things. And that is where the issue is. Everyone has a role to play. You have to be intentional about it.
This trend that, look, Kurt must go, Kurt must go, Kurt
Yeah.
must go. I mean, everybody's allowed to make their advocacy and all of that. But truth be told, the people who can initiate a Kurt must go, it's not Lawrence or Penty. The people who can initiate a Kurt must go are the football people, the club owners, the representatives of the various clubs who go to Congress, who vote for their leader. They are the ones who have the power to decide that.
Yeah.
And even those people have said that the man who is currently at the helm of affairs, they appreciate his work so much, and they have given him room to go for a third term. That is the reality on the ground. That's the reality now. So the people who have the power, the ultimate power to be able to what's the word for it? To be able to direct the affairs of the FA, the club owners, they have their today. If you don't want Kurt to be president of the FA again, the people who can make that happen, with all due respect, it's not the president of Ghana, it's not John Mahama, it's not Kofi Adams, it's the club owner. The man who going to represent young apostles at the FA Congress. The man who going to represent Asante Kotoko. All right? The man who going to represent Accra Lions. The man who going to represent House of Folk. They are the ones who have the power today to say that, okay, look, what you have done, we are not satisfied and we want you to go. They are the ones who can trigger it. And let me give you a classic example. And that is where maybe your point about the fans also beginning to embrace football, understanding where they can influence things, also come to play a part. So if you're a fan of Asante Kotoko,
like myself,
or you're a fan of Accra Heart of Folk, or you're a fan of Young Apostles, all right? For fans, if you're wondering where you can influence things, how you can influence the direction of football, then whichever club you support, if you begin to take that your support for those clubs serious, then I tell you, you can influence a lot as far as the direction of Ghana football is concerned. Now, let me give you a classic example. When Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, when we woke up one day and they all released a statement that they were going to form a Super League, who were the ones who crashed it? It was the football fans. The Chelsea fans went, staged a demonstration and told Chelsea that, look, that thing you are doing, we don't want it. What did Chelsea do? They wrote a statement and said, look, we know we've made a wrong decision and we are now going to withdraw it. What did Arsenal do? The same thing. What did Man United do? The same thing. Eventually, now what has become of the Super League? Nothing. So we as fans of the game have a certain power. A certain power.
To some extent, even we have the most power.
Yeah, a certain power that can actually be exerted from the club level. Because what they like it on, if a Kumasi Asante Kotoko fans begin to rise up, empower President on Kotoko, and tell them what they want to happen at the FA Congress, Hearts of Folk fans begin to rise up and tell Togbe and the leadership of Hearts of Folk what they want to happen at the FA Congress, and the fans of Young Apostles rise up, the fans of Accra Lions rise up, the fans of this, all these clubs begin to have a united voice and tell their clubs that this is what we want to see at Congress. You think these clubs will seriously be so naive to go ahead and do what they want? The fans will lock up the gates of the stadium.
Yes.
They can't play.
And also, the fans have to start contributing to these teams.
That is where you have the power.
So if you don't buy tickets, if you're much, so you have. Do you know why United fans have so much power? Because they pay for everything, almost everything. They pay for the sets, they buy tickets, they're season ticket holders, to the extent that even worldwide fans have a say. You get it? So there was a time that Ghana football was like that. Like we had a time where we had sessions, we had fan clubs of Hearts of Folk. We had different
very
clubs.
influential.
They were very influential. So there were leaders of these clubs that could hold press conferences and demand the clubs to do ABC.
Yeah.
They can demand for the club to go and sign this player. You get it? So that power is
it's a
with
power that
you.
we need to reactivate.
Yeah. So if the fans,
If you can reactivate the fan power, the fan supporters union power, then we can influence a lot when it comes to the future of
even
Ghana.
at the national team level, I think that could be done. What is the Ghana Supporters Union doing? It's true. To be honest with you, right? If the Ghana Supporters Union are not getting the funding from the government or the GFA and are getting their funding from a private entity, right? They would have enough power.
They could become a very strong...
Because at the end of the day, every match day, they are in the sun, they are in the rain, in the stand singing, right? To cheer on the Black Queens and the 17s, both male and
Basically,
female.
And in
every
that
national
case,
team.
any
So,
statement from the Ghana Supporters Union on
Oh.
anything
would carry weight.
will be a very powerful statement.
Yes.
But it cannot be, Chairman.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If they were
Because
getting
they
their
turn
funding,
into a Jama.
Look, let me cite an example as far as women's football is concerned. Some years ago, and it is a club that is Rich City. Rich City, so they were in the Division 1 league. And this is a club, you are not expecting too many. But then fans come to their games. Fans demand that, at certain point, we want to have jerseys to buy. At certain point, we want to feel part and parcel of the club. They sit back, take the feedback of the fans, go into a new season, sign partnership deals that help them produce jerseys, bring the jerseys on the market for fans to buy. That is one. Hazakes ladies at the start of the season didn't have fans coming to the stadium. It took some parts of the management of the club to see the community and say, Jack, you people, we know you come to the stadium to support us. If not for anything, we know the boys here. Shallow. But for the women, you come to support. What is the issue? Then some goes to say, you are selling this player is out of the team, this and that are happening. We are not happy about it. And so what do? The club tried to change it. And from the second half of the season through to the end, they saw the crowd at the their venue when they play their games. Look, fans have a big say as far as our football is concerned.
Yeah.
Let's no one lie to you.
Did you see what happened when Real Madrid were going for their elections? This is what Perez had to do. He was making all kind of promises.
Yeah.
By Tuesday, I'm going to put in a request for a Galactico. He's a real Galactico. He was making promises like he was going to become the
They
president.
know how
the president of a country. Campaign promises. Did you see the contents when Barcelona were going for their elections? Even though the man knew that he was going to win, see the pressure he was under. That says a lot. And if the fans, the Ghanaian people, can begin to embrace football in that regard. And because look, the moment you because influence is not just about the attendance in the stadium.
Yeah.
It also has to do with the economic contribution you make to the club. Because for as long as Nana Ajimambedu remains the sole financier of Aduana Stars, there's nobody who can influence the decisions at Aduana Stars. No fan can influence any decision. As long as it is him who has to find money to pay the salaries of the people. As long as the king, Asante Hene, remains the sole financier of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And all the Kotoko fans, at the end of the month, we can't find maybe some 100,000 Ghana cedis that have come from dues of Kotoko fans that is being used to pay salary of players. And it is so too for who every month he has to, with the management of Kotoko, find the money. As long as they are the sole financiers, then I'm telling you, there's very little influence we can have on the direction of Ghana football. Because at the end of the day, he will be the one taking the decisions because he's the one contributing the most.
Yeah.
He's the one contributing the most. But that also feeds into something else. That if the fans do not have influence in the clubs, which we believe going forward, fans need to begin to have influence. Another area of focus has to do with the Ministry of Sports. Yeah. That is another area, because that is where even we directly are involved. Voted the government into power. They came with their promises as far as the sports industry is concerned. The Minister of Sports has got ultimate power. He's got plenty of money to do things. The budget for the Ministry of Sports this year was around 80 million. If you look at the money even they used to go and fund the Black Stars, how much was it? Do you remember the budget of Black Stars?
I think 14. Either 12 or 14, one of them.
Yeah, it was quite a lot of money. I think almost 150 million Ghana cedis is what that was used to as Black Stars budget. And there was a point that the money was not being released, and they had to quickly release it so that things could be fast tracked. Almost 150 million Ghana cedis. So the point is that the sports ministry has got a big role, because if Ghanaians don't have any voice anywhere, the voice of the Ghanaian people is the sports ministry. And the sports ministry, the Black Stars, the World Cup tournament is done. Now it's AFCON. And often the sports ministry will become occupied with AFCON. But we need to move beyond becoming a ministry of Black Stars and become a ministry of sports. And we absolutely need to move beyond the rhetoric and get to real work, real fundamental work, real action, real work, where the people are feeling the work. They are feeling the work. Agboja is on the road constructing roads. Yes, when it comes to the sports ministry, let's see the real work. There's been a lot of talk about school sports, and the sports minister is so passionate about it. Everywhere he goes, he talks about school sports. He's so passionate about it. But we need to see the real work. What is the real work? What is the work now accompanying the development of school sports? He says it when he meets the president. He says it when he meets corporate entities. Even when he's at the church. Remember when he went to Prophet, what's the name of this? Philadelphia church.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Yeah, he even told the man that he wants him to become an ambassador of school sports. The sports minister is passionate about school sports. But now the question is, what is the plan for school sports development? Let's see the work. Let's see it rolling. What are we going to be seeing from now?
Look, we know there was a World Cup. Before we went into the World Cup, we knew there is a Women's Africa Cup of Nations. We knew there is Commonwealth Games to come. I don't know the plans that way. But
because
take for instance,
all these tournaments will overshadow everything.
Take for instance Cameroon for the WAFCON. Cameroon have been in camp for the past 1 month. Ivory Coast have been in camp for a month plus. And there's the Black Queens who don't even know when they are leaving Ghana to Morocco to start pre-tournament camping. In the last international window that they were expected to play games, they had to come in the end camp in Ghana. We need to move past just the Black Stars. There are so many sports that we need to develop. There are so many areas. Even if when it comes to football, there are so many areas. There's the Black Queens, the Black Princesses who are preparing for a World Cup, the Black Maidens. In fact, the Black Maidens have been in camp for God knows when. They went to play first leg of that game against Senegal, their final round of qualifier for the World Cup. And so today is what? As we speak, today is Thursday. No big person, nobody from the ministry has gone to see the team about their old per diems, old bonuses. Nothing.
But you see, All of those things are very, 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 very valid. But Penty, the other thing too is that, and often that is where we get caught up in. Sometimes I feel that sometimes we get too much caught up in tournaments. Too much caught up in tournaments. Every now and then, for me, everything about Ghana sports is tournaments.
Yeah.
Commonwealth Games is going to come, and you see the committee has been set up, and we are busy. We are busy and looking like, oh, we are doing Ghana sports. The WAFCON is going to come. We're going to get busy and say, yeah, that is Ghana sports. But that is not Ghana sports. Ghana sports is the real work. It's not just tournament. The tournaments are great. It gives us an opportunity to test our talent, to make the country proud. But there have to be some legwork, groundwork that can show that, yes, we are developing the sports. We are not developing the sports only when we are able to participate in WAFCON and World Cup and Commonwealth Games. That is not when we see that we are developing the sports. That is not that should not be the criteria. That when we qualify for AFCON, then we know we are developing sports. No. Or when we qualify for World Cup, then we know that Ghana sports is moving forward. No. It cannot be. That cannot just be the criteria. We need to see it on the ground. The ground is Kaneshi Sports Complex. Why has it not been completed?
Yeah.
Why has it not been completed? Why has Hinin Sports Youth Resource Center not been completed? Why is the secondary sports stadium still the way it is? Why has it not the renovation been completed? Why? What is the plan for school sports? What is the plan for school sports? That is the legwork. That is the legwork. The tournaments will come and go. We'll qualify for some of them. But we cannot use the qualification for tournament as the criteria for the development of our sports.
Big issue.
That cannot be.
Yeah, big issue.
I think that is where the problem is. That is where the problem is. If you look at Morocco, what they've done over the years, they started from infrastructure. And they are still doing it up to today. It is a national plan it is. Like, it is just a national plan to invest in sports infrastructure. And they're seeing the result. The moment you start from the grassroots, developing infrastructure and making sure that every child has basic facilities in his or her community to have access to the basketball court, the tennis ball court, the football pitches. If they have this basic access, it makes everything easy. Mm-hmm. You get it? Mm-hmm. So when the Blasters wants to train and there's a Black Queens tournament and there is under 17 tournament, we didn't have one team going to play in anywhere or one team using the major facilities and they are not using the facility.
Yeah.
Look, you get it? That is a problem we have in this country. A big problem. Where even if the Black Queens wants to play a football match now, they have to either move to Cape Coast when the Blasters are about to play. Because there is no proper infrastructure in Accra. Mm. You get it?
Yeah, I just think sometimes we get distracted by our qualification for tournament.
From what
begin to lose sight of the real issues.
Like from what Penty said, use the Morocco as an example. Last year I was there, and if you look at when the Black Queens moved to, I think Rabat, one of Rabat or Casablanca, for every training, we went to one academy to where they were training, and there were about 5 different pitches that can host a game. Mm. Yes, it might not be to international, but one that can have this court football, proper pitches, recreational facilities. You are able to see them almost every 30 minutes. You see a recreational facility, which has basketball courts, tennis courts, different sports, and you have lots of kids there playing with their parents having a sitting area and watching the kids play. That is conscious efforts to develop the sports.
Yeah.
That is conscious efforts to ensure that whatever talent that people have, they are able to develop it.
And you see, and that feeds into what we believe the sports ministry need to get busy about. Yeah. Take KJB district in the OT region.
Yeah.
The point is, what is the sports ministry plan for the people in KJB? Alongside the KJB district assembly? What is the plan for sports in that area? What is the plan to move in the in the northern parts of our country? The district there. What is the plan in terms of the plan? What's the plan for the young people there? All right, go to Bunu East, those areas. All right, what is the plan? What is the plan? So holistically, What is the plan to develop sports in all of these areas? That's why I said that sometimes you get distracted by qualification for tournaments. The World Cup came, we set up a committee to raise funds, 50 million we're looking for, and we're all caught up in the frenzy. Then when we exited the tournament, it's like,
Reality
the
check.
scales were off.
Reality check.
When I cleanse, Charlie, your football now saying,
Reality
yeah,
check.
because we were distracted by the tournament. When we didn't qualify for the AFCON, you saw how we all of a sudden began to pay attention to things.
Yeah.
How we all of a sudden said, Charlie, no, we need to sit up. What is happening here? Ghana did not qualify. Because all this is why we're qualifying for a tournament. We were distracted by them. We didn't know that the issues are there. The issues are there. So when we go with it, we group stage, we exit. Group stage, that they cost Ghana pa, Ghana pa. We didn't qualify for one tournament. He said, hey, look at what we did qualify for 2018 World Cup.
Yeah.
You didn't see the mood in the country. You didn't see how people were like, no, Charlie, no, this cannot happen. What happened to our sports? So what's the problem?
Yeah.
You know, it was like, what's
coming.
happening? What's happening? What? Yeah, because when you qualify, my brother.
Everybody's quiet. Everybody.
If Ghana was still, if Ghana
That's
had
the thing.
still been in the tournament in World Cup right now, if Ghana has still been in the tournament, and we are preparing to meet Argentina on Sunday,
Yes.
everybody would have forgotten that Kaneshie Sports Complex is not completed. The alligator did it. They will forget that the complex
Charlie,
is not ready.
You say what you here for day? We're sound here for day.
That's the point. We get distracted. That's the point. And look, what some of these tournaments also offer us is that they offer us resources, opportunity to make resources. And FIFA has made this tournament lucrative. You make it as far as the quarterfinal. Look, just the round of 32 that we made, we are coming home with an excess of $30 million. That is good money. So this tournament offers opportunity to get funding, which is a real issue in our sports development. Then when it comes, we need to see the legwork. We need to see it. But it is also true that if we had made it to the quarterfinals, and I need to repeat this, made it to the quarterfinals, the mood in the country, we would have been playing Argentina at 1 a.m. on Sunday. Is that Sunday or into Monday? Is it Saturday into Sunday?
Sunday into Monday.
Sunday into Monday. 1 a.m. Nobody will be sleeping. But while we are caught up in that frenzy, we would have forgotten that Kaneshie Sports Complex has got alligators in there. And there are Zuma Nelson, the legendary boxer. That's his name on the complex. And the complex will not be completed by 2028, when in the next election cycle. In fact, that sports complex, I can sit here and beat my chest that, look, the next 10 years will still not be completed. Because we got distracted by tournaments. And like I said, tournaments are great.
And that is why
need to
sometimes
keep doing the legwork.
The government has a huge role to play. And
Yeah.
Because the tournament is for the federations and associations, right?
Yeah.
So the GFA, when it comes to
But the money
blasters-
that comes is taxpayers' money, straight to
Yeah, but what I mean is that once the minister don't have to be part of the contingents or the people that are going to maybe a particular tournament. Maybe you go and watch one Ghana game, you come back. There are issues on the ground. You get it?
Yeah.
You have to fix those issues. You're the minister of sports. You're not the minister of the blasters. So when blasters go to the war,
But he's also gauging the mood of the country. At the
No,
moment,
no,
that's
no,
where
no,
the
The
interest.
interest is.
see, the
Everybody's
thing
thinking about that one, isn't
is-
it?
everybody, but see, that is why we have to change our approach to things. You get it? We are talking about the new norm. We are
Yeah.
talking about what has to change. You get it? What has to change is that there is a blasters tournament going. There might even be more tournaments coming up for in terms of the athletics and other stuff coming up. Can it be all of those tournaments at the same time? No. You're the minister for sports. You have to look at infrastructure. Look at what is happening in the country.
In fact, next year we are hosting U20.
You get it?
But unfortunately,
What
I mean, most
are we doing about the facilities we have? I'm focused on the facilities because the facility gives us the opportunity to produce more talent. The other Braga orders, if you go and see where they are playing right now, you get it. But we have a lot of incredible young talent who are coming out from that place.
yeah. Even
You get
while
it?
playing there,
Yes.
how much more if
You
we
get it.
make the
facility. And you see,
but
the
yes,
reason
it
why the mother or the father will not allow the kids to go and play is because look at the facility. You get it? So if you
I
have
just
a
wanna
In
But
fact,
Dennis-
many of us, the reason why we had to put the career on hold was because Mama Suru say we be pra. many of us, the reason why we didn't have our career on the trail or we didn't pursue our football dreams is because Mama Surese will be proud. Who pro ni score the best show?
Because
in fact,
no.
level 200, I was playing in the UPSA Campus League and I suffered an injury for about 2 to 3 weeks. I was limping to the office. I had to be carried literally to the office. I came back, my mom saw it, my auntie saw it. They had to bend my football staff.
Yeah.
That was the ending of the dream.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't pursue it because only sika.
And unfortunately, on the field, any nipa nkwana eno mo boy, ebumu some of almost 2 enyumere. Almost 2 enyumere. Any nipa o. What is our ball 11 against 11? Ebumu 2. It's one money na ombe bu na na say mo akọ jubilate 1 AM no mo ti be jubilate. So look, we are passionate about Ghana football. And I think that's a beautiful part of it. That look, everybody is passionate. Those who are saying Kete Kriku must go. Those who are saying, look, we all need to do better. We all need to get involved. The Rise Ghana youth get involved. One thing is clear, that we are all passionate about Ghana football. We all want it to do well. We all want it to do well. We want to see the Ghana Premier League thriving. We want to see the Black Stars going far. We want to see the facilities in good shape, in top shape. Everybody is clearly passionate about Ghana football. And I think Kurt understands that. I think Kofi Adams understands that. And I think every person understands that. And what we need to do is that we need to give opportunity to hear ourselves. Hear ourselves. Don't get irritated when somebody is speaking to you. Yeah. Listen. Take the part that you can take. Do what you have been elected to do. You've been required to do. Everybody should play their part. And hopefully the things will get better. We'll reap the benefits of Morocco. We'll reap the benefits of England, the benefit of name them. And Senegal will reap the benefits someday. Let's all play our part. And that's it for Extra Time, guys.